There we go. All right. We are recording. Welcome to class. Oh. All right. Calm as fuck Qigong. Let's jiggle. Oh, yeah, we're going to jiggle, and it's going to wake our bodies up. It's going to make us feel alive and awake. And there we go. Just check my phone. I think some people were going to join today who were new, so I just want to keep the phone nearby in case they have trouble logging in. I hope everybody's doing great, enjoying this wonderful winter weather. I don't know where you are, but here in South Texas, it is freezing. It is literally freezing, meaning it is in the 50s. Oof. Oh. No, I'm kidding. It did get down into the upper 30s in the evening, overnight. But our daytimes are usually in the 50s or 60s right now. But we can't handle it. I know. Y'all make fun of us from everywhere else in the country, but when we get like 67 days straight of 100-degree weather and we're just going to work and doing everything normal, who's laughing then, huh? Good morning. Yay. Good to see everyone's faces. So we jiggle, we keep jiggling. One of these days, we're just going to do an entire class of jiggling, I swear. I mean, if I thought I could get away with it, I would, because I think that would be so good for us. You know what, maybe today will be a lot of jiggling. We're going to do lots of extra jiggling today. So you want to get a nice little bounce moving through the hips. Of course, not too much for everybody. You can also come and bounce on your heels. If you do that, make sure your knees are nice and relaxed, nice and bent. We don't want to lock the knees out, especially if we're sending a kind of strong jolt through the body. But yeah, if you tap the heels, it gets the jiggle just to happen a little more. Gets it into a little bit of the viscera of the body and the abdomen. Get stuff to just kind of loosen up. Good. Great. Fantastic. Yes. Keep going. Good. And then we can let that come to a standstill. Let's come to a center stance. So feet about shoulder width apart. Breathing into the low abdomen. Knees relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Everything down. Breathing deeply into the lower abdomen. Nice and slow. Check in with your body. Do a little scan. See how it feels after all that jiggling and shaking. Does it feel warm? Does it feel tingly? Does it feel tight in some places you weren't aware of? Does it feel looser in others? Good. All right, let's do a circle breath here. Inhale as our arms come up. Exhale as everything comes down. Letting your breath lead this movement. Good. And then when you finish, coming back to our center stance. And let's just hold here. We're going to do a couple breathing exercises. Think about that lower abdomen, that lower dantian, the energetic center just below the belly button, right in the center of the body. Breathing into that. Filling our chi up. And then we think about right here in the center of our chest, which is our middle dantian, kind of like the heart center. So now I want you to think about that chi gathered in the lower dantian, and with an inhale, you draw it up to that heart center, and then exhale and let it come back down. Good. And let your hands just stay, and then breathing in and out, feel that chi rise up and descend. Inhale up to the heart center. See what that feels like. Is there any tightness or constriction? Exhaling, letting everything descend back down to that lower dantian. Good, and now we're going to connect to that upper dantian. So right, the third eye, in between the eyebrows, but in the center of the head, so kind of where these 2 points meet. So focus your thoughts there. Focus your intention. All right, and now everything, take your hands, palm over palm, put them on that lower abdomen. Feel that connection, breathe into it, feel the warmth, connect to that lower dantian. All right, our next inhale, we're going to draw it up to the heart. Exhale, leave it here. Leave your attention and intention in the heart, and then inhale, drawing it up to that third eye. Exhale, leaving it there. Leaving our attention and our intention at our third eye. Inhale. Exhale, descend down to the heart. And our next exhale, all the way down. Good. Inhale, drawing the chi all the way up to the upper dantian. Exhale, descending it down all the way back to the lower dantian. Do one more on your own. Good. This time we're going to add our arms into our circle breath. So we inhale as we come up, feeling the chi rise up all the way to the third eye. Exhale, feel chi come in through the top of the head and descend all that chi down to the lower dantian. Good. Inhale. Good. Exhale, descend. Good. One more. Awesome. And when you finish, let's go back into jiggling and shaking. Yeah, I told you we were going to do a little more of this today. And as you feel the body warm up, think about where you might feel some tension. Like I feel some tension right here below the scapula on the right side. So I'm going to kind of think about like moving around a little bit there. You know, almost like cats, right? Cats or dogs on the side of couches and walls where they're like, oh, yeah, that's the spot. That's the spot. Animals and children are secret Qigong masters. And they know everything because they haven't been told to forget yet. Or they haven't listened to those messages. So they're a great sort of source of inspiration when we're doing our movements, when we see them move through the world. Good, keep shaking. Oh, I'm going to bounce a little more. Good, you're doing great. Just a little bit more. Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. And let's come back to our center stance again. Breathing deeply into that lower abdomen. Connecting with your body. How's that feel? Mm-hmm. Good. Very nice. We've done this before. We're going to do it again. It's called the microcosmic orbit. We kind of did it a minute ago. So our center meridian, where the dantians lie, here, here, and here, we are going to send the chi out through the bottom of the dantian, out through the perineum, and on our inhale, we're going to draw it up the back, like right up the spine. And then on the exhale, it's going to go into the top of our mouth, where our tongue is going to be touching the roof of our mouth. It's going to connect to the tongue and come all the way down the midline, going up under and connecting to the perineum, and then doing it again. So the inhale, cycle up, exhale, cycle down. So there's a spot on the roof of your mouth where if you take your tongue and kind of pull it back just a little bit, there's this part where it's just going to sit very nicely. Yeah. So let's get into our center stance. Feet shoulder width, knees relaxed, hips relaxed, shoulders relaxed, neck extending up and pulling, low back open and stretching. Feel the spine extend in two directions. Yeah, good. Put the tongue on the roof of the mouth and breathe deeply into that lower dantian. Exhale, sending all the chi, centering it there in the lower abdomen. And then on the next inhale, draw the chi up from the perineum, up the spine. Over the top of the head, into the mouth. Exhale, letting the chi descend down the front. All the way down, connecting underneath, coming up the spine again with your next inhale. Good, and keep the cycle going. Nice and relaxed, good posture, feeling that spine stretch. Keep breathing, you're doing great. Letting your body relax. Keeping that tongue point touching the roof of the mouth. The tongue in this position, it should start to build up saliva in your mouth. It's really good. Go ahead and just leave that saliva there. Good. Give me 5 more really good cycles. Nice and intention. All right, and when you finish, swallow all that saliva that's collected near the tongue and the back of the throat, and let it just wash down into your body, feeling very nice and nourishing. That saliva that builds up there is really, really chock full of chi and good energy if we keep our nice intention while we do that. And now let's shake again. I tell you, I broke out into a little bit of a sweat, very light, and that's usually pretty good. It can be indicative of the chi flowing through the body. If you start to sweat too much, it can mean that you're you might be pushing yourself a little too hard, so just a little bit of warmth. Good. Yes. All right. Good. And we'll let this come to a stop. Good. Let's do 3 circle breaths here. Inhaling up, drawing chi in, exhaling, returning it to the dantian. Good. Fantastic. All right, let's end with a little bit of lower dantian and hip work. So just like with Kundalini and other energetic types, if we draw our chi up to our heart or our upper dantian, our third eye, and leave that chi there, it can cause uncomfortable sensations. So one thing we like to do, that's why we always kind of like circle breath is a really good ending, because it helps draw that chi back down. But today we're just going to really focus on some hip circles, focusing on that lower dantian, letting it keep our root. So go ahead and put your hands there. Take a couple deep breaths in. Good. And then close your eyes and imagine that dantian, that energetic center in the middle of the lower abdomen, and start to spin it. Let it start to spin around in a circle. Let that circle start to get bigger and bigger, expanding outwards. Let it start to move your hips ever so slightly, letting the dantian lead your movement, lead your hips. Good. Let the circle grow bigger and bigger, keeping your feet nice and grounded, your head lifting up. Good. And really start to let those hips circle around, letting that dantian lead all the movement, everything coming from your center, rooting and grounding us. Good, and let's come back to center, letting that get smaller and smaller, coming back to the middle. Take one deep breath to reset. And let's start spinning it in the other direction. Start to make the circles bigger. Let it start to move the hips. Good. Keeping the feet rooted, the head connected up. Let those circles get nice and big. Dantian leading the movement, keeping us rooted and connected. Good, and come back to center. Another deep breath, recentering. Really feeling that connection to that Dantian, and think about this rooted center being the place we move from today. So as we close and we start to move into the world, as you take your first step towards your computer, think about letting that step come from your root and what that feels like. Yeah. And think about keeping that nice rooted center all day today. Okay, friends. So good to see you. Thank you for coming, and I will see you very, very soon.